Hey everyone, welcome back to Level Up with Chris Patrick. And I just wanted to say before we go ahead and get started, welcome back. This is episode 2, going into 5 ways for men to level up. Okay, now I've made it very clear in my last episode, but I'll reiterate it here for a lot of you guys that are brand new watching this and listening in. This is geared mostly towards men. Wives, women, y'all are all more than welcome to listen and write down tips or whatever you want. I'm not saying you're not welcome in any way, shape, or form, but this is geared more towards men and helping men like myself, whether you are 18 coming out of moms or dads or whoever raised you, or in your mid-30s or even older, okay? It doesn't matter, just geared directly towards men and how they can better improve in everyday life. A lot like I still have to. So I wanted to start with step 1, which was find your confidence, not cockiness. Now, my wife and I kind of went back and forth on that one. I don't really know how else to put it. So if you have some ideas, I would love to receive a voice message from you, which is something Anchor now allows you guys to do. So please, if you have a better idea of how to put that, I'm all ears. But yeah, find your confidence, not cockiness, okay? And basically what that means is just like my wife kind of said, quit being a jerk or anything similar to that. Like I don't want to put names out there or anything like that as far as name calling goes. But sometimes as men, we all have the tendency to kind of be overconfident, extremely cocky, both with our body language as well as the way that we speak or the way that we do specific things. And so I just want to help you guys learn how to find your confidence, which can look totally different and sound totally different than being overly confident. So that would be step numero uno, find your confidence. Step 2, my wife and I talked about how as men, it's extremely important for all of us to work on our health. Okay, a lot of us tend to kind of just go to work and do the daily grind and not work on our health. We don't really work on going to the gym. I know me, I personally am horrible at water intake. Like I have a cup of water right here behind the computer and I'm not drinking it, right? Like I need to work on better water intake for myself. Like I said, going to the gym once a week, cooking at home, not just eating out 24/7. That's a big bad habit that I share with a lot of you guys, is just going to work and then right after work stopping at the quickest drive-through that I can get to just because I'm so hungry. And that's just piss poor planning on my part. I didn't go out there with a sack lunch that I made at home, and so because of that, now I'm spending foolishly on food that's not really good for me. 2, spending money on just dumb shit in general. And 3, I need to be fed properly, the right nutrition, right, to be able to take care of my health in the long run. And that can only be done by making good home meals. So I want to encourage you guys to stop eating out so often and start coming up with a meal plan. If you need help doing that, I have a really good friend of mine that gives away a free meal plan. So if that's something you're interested in, please send me a voice message, or you can email me at Brian, BRIAN, Chris, CHRIS, Patrick, PATRICK at iCloud.com, and I will get back to you guys ASAP with that nutrition grocery list, okay? That would be super beneficial for you guys. Now, the next step, step 3 of 5, would be independent. Get your own place. Okay, and if you guys see me looking down here, I'm simply looking at my notes because I want to stay on task with you guys. So be independent. Getting your own place was the only like reference I kind of wrote down, but I'll come up with a couple more as we talk right now. But being independent goes so much further than just getting your own place. I mean, yes, getting your own place is eventually a really great goal to have, but you can't really get your own place unless you have a consistent stream of income coming in. And I'm not talking about, something simple like video gaming and you started your own little gaming channel and now you're making like $5 a month. That's cute. Okay, it's going to take years to cultivate a good dual-digit salary income to eventually way higher. Okay, I want to encourage you guys, if you don't have a job, get one. Even if it's part-time. Even if it's something simple, like I started out working at a college part-time while I was going to school part-time, right? 19 hours a week, wasn't much pay, but it was worth it in the end because I was able to pay for my own apartment. So I want to encourage you guys that don't have jobs yet to definitely put yourself out there. If you don't have a resume, build one. If you don't know how to build one, there's lots of resources online that you can use to go ahead and do that. But please put yourself out there. You're going to feel, again, going back to being confident, you're going to feel more confident when you have your own job, you have your own income coming in, and then you need to budget that income to the point where every dollar has a name. You're putting money towards your rent, you're putting money towards your light bill, your water bill, whatever bills you have, paying your cell phone every single month, that kind of stuff, okay? And then on top of that, I wrote down that we need to be doing personal development. And congratulations, you guys are doing that right now, just by listening to this podcast. Okay, was it that hard? Absolutely not. It was right here, free, at your disposal, super simple, click of a button, and it started playing, whether you're watching it in video format or you're listening to it while you're doing whatever else you're doing, right? It's not that hard. But I do want to encourage you guys, anytime that you have the opportunity, sit down and don't just listen to this, but whip out that pen and paper and take down some of these notes. It's not that difficult. And when you're writing notes down, it's going to be a lot more beneficial for you in the long run because you're going to be able to begin to implement these new strategies into everyday life, right? Because if you're not remembering what you're hearing during these episodes, then what's going to end up happening is you're going to go back to the swing of things. You're going to go back to your daily routine. And for example, let's just say little Jimmy, every single day, he goes to work and he comes home and he hops on the Xbox because that's his form of escape. He doesn't have many other responsibilities, so that's just what he does. No harm, no foul. It's not like anything else needs his immediate attention, right? But the issue is, earlier that morning, little Jimmy listened to my podcast and he didn't take any notes. And while he was at work, he kind of tripped and fell down and, he brushed it off and he went back to work and he did what he needed to do for the remainder of the day. But because of the hubbub of work life that day, he totally forgot everything he heard in the morning podcast on his drive to work. And so now that he's at home playing Xbox, he totally forgot about cultivating new habits. He totally forgot about self-development. He totally forgot about finding his own confidence. Instead, he just feels so overburdened by everything that's going on around him. He would rather just play some video games instead of doing his daily responsibilities at home before enjoying himself, instead of using the video game as a sense of escape, right? And finally, I wanted to go into finding a network of other men who can walk life with you and hold you accountable. Now, you can find these types of men just about anywhere. Whether you are a churchgoer or you like to look into small groups like on Meetup and stuff like that, I definitely want to encourage you guys. Okay, if you know of a small group of like-minded individuals that like the same types of things that you like, or maybe you're not sure if they like it, and that's your first step, is going to one of those groups or one of those meetups to see if you might click with any of those other guys, right? I want to encourage you, do it. Absolutely do it, because it's going to be way more beneficial for you. And when we evaluate who we hang out with, okay, we're going to see that our behaviors and our habits reflect who we hang out with. And that's okay. I need you guys to understand this next part too. It's okay to level up when someone in your life ends up staying behind. one of two things happen here. Sometimes they're ready to level up with you. Sometimes they're never going to level up. And it's very easy to feel discouraged or feel like we need to stay behind simply because little Jimmy back here can't level up with us. Or he's going to say, oh, you changed. You changed, Chris. You changed, man. I don't know who you are anymore. Guess what? That's total bull. You and I both know it. Okay, sometimes we need to look after ourselves and be like, you know what? That's nice, Jimmy, and I'm sorry that you feel that way, bro, but it's time for me to move up in life. It's time for me to take the next step into doing what's best for me and for my family. And if that means that you can't be my friend anymore, or even if it just means we cut ties for a little while, that's okay by me. I love you, man. I hope things go good for you, but as for me and my life, I'm ready. I need to get out there, so it's okay, because some of these people, you guys, they're in our life for a season, and that's it. Sometimes we fall into this habit of thinking that, oh, these dudes are going to be in my life forever. This is going to be the best bromance of a lifetime. Like, he's going to be my best man at my wedding, and this is going to happen, that's going to happen. Guys, don't think like that all the time, because that's just not realistic. Okay? The next tip, I'm throwing in a sixth bonus tip. Okay? And it kind of correlates with last week's episode on being vulnerable. And the reason I keep bringing this up is because in the next couple weeks, we're going to be talking about crushing down some old habits that we used to have and cultivating new ones. But before we can ever cultivate new ones, and before we can even acknowledge that we have bad habits, we need to be vulnerable. We need to expose our own emotions and to allow ourselves to feel and deal with our feelings in a certain way to where we can seek out that mental health or help with our anger or whatever it may be. For example, I get really angry sometimes. I'm not going to lie to you guys. I'm not perfect. And I'm never going to sit here up on a pedestal and tell you guys that I'm perfect or I'm better than you, because just stop listening right then. If you ever hear me say some crap like that, just shut me down. Okay, send me an email, call me an idiot, because that's what I'll be if I say that to you. I am not perfect. I am not better than you, but I have faced a lot of things in my life to where I feel confident enough in my own skills and strategies to where whatever I've learned I could bring to the table and be like, hey man, this is something that I did. Maybe it'll help you, maybe it won't. Take it or leave it. It's an option for you to try to use. No harm, no foul if you don't. Okay, but be vulnerable. Don't dismiss seeking those helpful agencies out, because honestly, man, sometimes it's the very thing that can save us between life and death. I want to encourage you guys, if you're feeling suicidal, or if you're feeling like you want to harm yourself or anyone around you, please reach out to the Suicide Prevention Hotline, and I'll be providing that number in this episode. Okay, I don't want you guys to make any long-term decisions that are going to have permanent effects. Okay, most of the time what we're feeling can be dealt with in a much better way. Okay, I personally have felt during certain moments in my life extremely sad, extremely depressed, or even extremely angry. And I had to deal with those feelings in a very mature, very responsible way. And it wasn't easy, not by any means. Depression's not one of those things, as a lot of us are fully aware of. It's not one of those things that just goes away. It might quiet down here and there, but when it rears its ugly head, it's freaking ugly, man. So I want to encourage you guys to reach out to those numbers, reach out to those resources that are at our disposal 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Okay, or you can always email me. Again, my email is brianchrispatrick@icloud.com. You can reach out to me, and I will do my utmost best to help you every step of the way. Okay, I'll get you plugged in with all the right resources and do everything in my power to get you to where you need to be. Okay, so if you're taking notes, Write these down real fast, just real quick. All right. Number 1, find your confidence. Number 2, work on your health. 3, be independent. 4, personal development. And 5, find a network of other men who can walk life with you and hold you accountable. Okay. And then that final tip was be vulnerable. All right. Be vulnerable. Guys, it has been an absolute pleasure. Thank you so much for listening. If you want to support this channel, do me a solid and just donate whatever you can. Anything helps. I love you guys. I'm going to be here every single Wednesday. If you need anything, give me a shout. Until then, I'll see y'all next week. Thank you for watching.